I wanted to do a quick video on how to spot when you're being gang stalked. And this applies both to online and real life, and it will happen both online and real life. What I discovered, and this is what you have to understand, if you're not crazy, like if you're not a nasty person, or if you're not somebody that would go out of their way to hurt people, you're not going to understand this. I've tried everything to understand why people do this. It seems like they do it to belong to a group, kind of like a regular gang. But there doesn't seem to be really any benefit to the people that do the dirty work. Most of the benefit comes from the podcasts that post the reactions. So here are 7 signs, and I'm going to show you how this works. Everyone is suspiciously on the same page. Okay? And I want you to read this on your own. Follow the link. You feel uncomfortable and don't know why. Another sign of gang stalking is constant lingering sense of discomfort. Something doesn't feel quite right. Under the day. Okay, now what I want to point out about everybody being on the same page, this is important because I'm going to go into this. Everyone says the same things to you. This is important because I'm going to show you this to you. When you have 17, 18, 19, 20 people telling you, go kill yourself. When you have 17, 18, 19, 20 people telling you, oh, you need to go to a psychiatrist. When you have 17, 18, 19, 20 people telling you, oh, you're going to be homeless. When you have 17, 18, 19 people saying you're a pedophile. When you have 17, 18, 19, 20 people telling you that you're a loser, that you're this, that you're that. This is... Individuals do not get together like this for no reason and just start swarming somebody. Anybody that's familiar, see, I worked legitimately for the Trump campaign in 2016. I purposely went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and went door to door to get Amish people to vote for Donald Trump. Okay, that's what I did. Now, online, there were groups of people that, the alt-right, as they call themselves, that would swarm people that were either Republican or not Republican or, whatever, just to try and intimidate them off of the internet. Okay, that's very similar to gang stalking, except gang stalking also crosses the line into real life. Okay, a lot of it is what these kids call trolling. Okay, so that's what it is, but it's worse. Okay, so what it is everybody's on the same page. You feel uncomfortable, but you don't know why. This comes from the conditioned response of constant harassment. Facts don't add up. Gang stalkers, this is very important because you will see this in a lot of the people that attack both me and Mary. Gang stalkers twist the truth, but they also flat out lie. You have to understand that. A lot of my so-called criminal record, complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. When you see what they do to Mary, the false accusations that she murdered somebody, absolute bullshit. Never happened. So what they do is they'll twist the truth, but they'll also flat out lie. As a group, they will deny events that actually happened and invent new things that never happened. And they will call you crazy, okay, for not agreeing with them. The facts, and I'm going to show you how this works. The facts, though rarely lie, phone records show that you did receive calls. And the police, and this is what's good, when they harassed me with phone calls, and I have voicemails and emails and everything else, and I'm going to show you some of the emails, and I'm going to play some of the phone calls. Yeah, these things did happen. There's a record of these things. The police know about these things in my case because I told the police. You feel trapped in a bubble. Gang stalking can feel isolating, almost like you're in a bubble. Now, I'm lucky here because I have real life witnesses that know what's going on, including people that are, like, for example, when I did go into an inpatient facility, the psychiatrist agreed with me, yeah, you're being gang stalked. Yeah, this happens. Yeah, you're not the first person I saw with this happening to. You notice regular small changes that everyone else ignores. This is classic gaslighting. And the original play, blah, blah, blah. Now you imagine that okay, so Husband slowly dims, blah, blah, blah. Now imagine that experience multiplied. Gangstalkers will make small, subtle changes to your environment, changes that unnerve you. This is back when they had access to my apartment. They would move things. Like I said, that my popcorn was taken, and I had videos that were taken, and they were put back. They didn't get access to my apartment after I had the locks changed, as far as I know. Repeat, and delete. Okay, this you'll see with videos they make. They repeat, and delete. Repetition is a common tactic employed by gangstalkers. They repeat the same words, behaviors. This is like the thing with pedo. They try to convince you with things that you're a criminal, other things like that when you're not. You don't trust yourself anymore. That's the goal of gangstalking. They can't make it so I don't trust myself anymore. Okay? And I'm going to move on to show you some of the emails. This is one gang stalker that I call Yeast Wolf. Okay? Now, she goes by many names and has literally thousands of accounts. This is not normal harassment. Okay? This is not normal harassment. And you'll notice that they repeat the same things over and over again. But you can tell that this is not normal, everyday harassment. This is psychosis. Okay? This is somebody with a goal to drive somebody off the deep end. Okay? So this is not normal harassment. This is a very sick person that is seeking to destroy someone's life. And their goal for this, and that's the thing, is you'll never know the goal of gang stalking. And I think that's one of the problems, is because usually when crimes are committed, somebody gains something. Not so in gang stalking. Now, when I went to criminal justice, when I was learning about criminal justice, what I learned is there are people that will do anything for any reason. And Chris Rock made a joke about this, which was, whatever happened to crazy? And I'm going to look for that. And I'm going to show you, like, when people try to, like, they wonder why school shooters do what school shooters do. It's because they're crazy. There's no motive. Whatever happened to crazy? That's the motive. They're crazy. They're not gaining anything. They're just nuts. Okay? So, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. You see, this person... This is one person with all these different emails. But what I'll show you is there's more interesting things. This is someone calling themselves the Pisser. They're another person that tries to intimidate. Okay, let me star those so I don't lose them. Boom. This is another person that tried to convince me that they were on my side, when in reality they were working with these people. I figured it out, and that's when I accused them of being fat ma'am, and they never got back to me after that, because they knew that I caught them. I don't like using Mary's stuff a lot. This is from Adrasdia's channel. But you will see that this is what swarming is. They're swarming her videos. This is them posing as me again, calling themselves Jimmy Berries for Bubba. Now remember, Bubba is the nickname of her handicapped deceased brother that Adonis is raising. Adonis and now Greg Gorilmo and now Fat Ma'am are all working to raise money to desecrate this kid's grave. Okay, so you'll see this is what swarming looks like. Okay, you'll notice they're clearly swarming her with negative comments to make her feel bad about herself. Now, mind you, Mary is a severely mentally ill woman that has admitted that she's severely mentally ill, and these people attack her every day, all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Nothing stops them. They just attack her. This is another example of swarming on Mary's video. One of Mary's videos. See, they'll even try and convince her that she doesn't try to be positive. Yeah, it's kind of hard to be positive when you're being swarmed by people giving you negative talks and trying to make you internalize negative, turn it into negative self-talk, constantly threatening the people. And this is them trying to convince her that she did things that she didn't do again, trying to intimidate her. Again, they're swarming her with negative comments here. You can see that they're swarming her with negative comments. This is swarming, and this is what gang stalkers do, in case you see this online. This will happen on all sorts of social media. It's happened to me on Facebook, Twitter, and of course most recently and most aggressively on YouTube, and also through the emails. You'll notice more swarming here. You'll notice the same people keep coming up, the same accounts. This is because if you consistently block them, they have to take the time to make a new account. They don't, So you see that they're consistently swarming her, consistently trying to make her think negative things about herself and make her think that she doesn't know what she's talking about, trying to get her to question her own semblance of reality. Luckily, I see what's going on, and luckily this is taking place in the public where other people see what's going on. This is them again harassing her, swarming her, and this is them trying to try and make it look like I'm trying to be with Mary and all this nonsense. I'm not trying to be with Mary. This has to do with their own perverse ridiculousness, that the only way a guy can care about somebody is if they're trying to have sex with them. I'm not trying to have sex with Mary. And in fact, the nurse that I was going to meet, I wasn't trying to have sex with her. I obviously would if she wanted, but she probably didn't want to have sex with me. That young lady wanted a companion, somebody she could talk to, somebody she could, have fun with. And she told me that. And it's sad that she can't explore that because she's too afraid of you people. And I know that now for a fact, which is even more sad. Okay? But yeah, this is them continually swarming her. This is what swarming looks like. Okay? So I gave you examples of what the emails look like. I gave you examples of what the other stuff looks like. Now, what the emails, the swarming, and I gave you 7 examples of how you know it's gang stalking. The other thing that you need to understand, one of the ways, I'm not going to start recording traffic or anything like that, but the real life harassment is usually done in such a subtle way that it will make you look crazy, and people that record it do look completely insane. That's why I won't do that. However, I am lucky that I have a witness to some of the real life harassment, an eyewitness, but I'm not somebody that whips out my phone and starts recording people, because the second you start recording people and the second you start demanding people tell you things, you look crazy. But I do have a number of eyewitnesses, one in particular, and that person has also had their apartment, they've been harassed at their apartment, okay, and I have a witness of that, and they're being harassed because they know me. They've also been, they've received harassing phone calls and other things of that nature. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to give people an example of what gang stalking looks like. Gang stalking is actually recognized by the FBI. Unfortunately, it's not recognized by the psychiatric community or the mental health community that believes that it's delusions. And the reason they do that is so they can sell more drugs, but it's objectively happening. You can show, that's why the police and the FBI believe it, because you can go, look, this shit's happening. It's actually happening. Oh, you know what? That's not it for this video. I have to show some of the other stuff, the phone calls and things of that nature. So what they had tried to convince me on Gay Wave was that my former friend never was my friend, never portrayed herself as a white nationalist and never did anything like this, and that, everything, I imagined everything and I lied and all this. Now, this is an example of things that she has said, and you can pause this and read this for yourself. I already did a video about this that I'll link in the description. I don't feel like going over it, but this is one of the things that she said, okay? More of what she said, Again, please feel free to pause the video and read this yourself, or follow the video that I link in the description. I don't feel like going over this again, but this is another thing that she stated. But I allegedly imagined all this, right? This is her and I discussing demography and how it matters, and her discussing how the infiltration of people that are not of the same people as her into her town is destroying her town. And I allegedly imagined all this. Now, this is before I knew how to use a screen recorder, but this is her admitting, or really lying and claiming to be descendant from German war criminals. She's not. This is just something she's making up to turn on this obese Hispanic Eric Cartman that runs Gay Wave, because he idolizes and prostrates himself before National Socialists because he wishes he could be one. But let's hear what she has to say, because she's going to claim to be descended from Nazi war criminals. She's not. She is a typical Argentine girl. She's Spanish, she's French, and she's Italian, and she's Native American. She's Incan. She's a typical Argentinian mestiza, basically. But let's hear what she has to say.
How about we all plan a trip to Argentina to go look at old German buildings that are there for some weird reason. Am I right? Yeah, I don't know. Eliana, did I hear you say that the last time you were on?
Notice how Adonis portrays himself as a cartoon, as being really buff, when in reality he's an emaciated, puny little bitch that is dying of coronary artery disease. That has to do with the narcissistic fantasy.
Interesting. You said that your father's father was a European immigrant back in like the mid-40s or something.
Yeah. He was in Argentina.
Oh, really?
And he married, yes, because there were a lot of settlements in the north.
Oh, yeah, there sure were.
In the northeast.
That's lovely. Why would you
Notice she has to think about where her ancestors came from. That seems a little hesitant to think of where your ancestors came from. In the north, in the northeast.
Well, there was a lot of German refugees at that time. Well, the thing is, first on AP, they're called dreamers. There were German dreamers.
Now, you will notice that the Hispanic Eric Cartman is self-hating, and he does not like other Hispanics. This is part of who he is. He is trying to make fun of dreamers now, because that's just who he is. He's a self-hating minority. And this is what that Fuentes person reminds me of, the Groiper guy. They're ridiculous.
Here was this? What happened? Oh no, Betsy, don't worry about it. It doesn't involve you anymore anyway. What year? Yeah. What year was this? It was, 40s. But I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah.
No.
The only thing I have from them is a book in German.
Oh yeah.
Now, the reason that she has a book in German is because she speaks German. She is, that's one of the many languages she speaks. A lot of Argentinians speak German, but she's preoccupied with German culture, being German. She's not German. When I met her, she was obsessed with trying to date white supremacists, particularly those that were German. Okay, so that was her deal. I'm supposed to believe that I imagined all that. I imagined my friendship with her. That's just who she was. She's like the fat Eric Cartman type character, in the sense that she believes she wants to be German, but she's not German. She is what she is. She's Spanish, she's French, she's Italian, and she's Incan. That's what she is. But she wants to be German. She wants that to be who she is. That's not who she is. But because she hates who she is, she wants to be German. That's just who these people are. They're really ridiculous people.
19. Don't finish that, sir.
I listen speaks to right.
There you go. No, you weren't just left a book. You were left an entire beast brain, too.
Now, I want you to pay attention to that. That's him stating that, that she was left a, quote, entire based brain. So that's him, that's retard talk for, oh my God, you are so amazing because you think like a National Socialist. Okay, that's what that's about, because he idolizes that, and that's what he wishes he could be, but he can't because he's not. And that's just what it is. He's not that, so he wishes he could be that, but he can't be that. So that's it. I mean, that's just what it is. It's pathetic. So that's just how these people are.
Oh no, Pessy, don't look it up. 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 Pessy, don't look it up.
18th birthday.
And they lost, Pessy. They lost. It was between 1944 and 46 specifically. Yeah, there you go. Yes, quitters. She is.
Now, this was a series of harassing phone calls that were made by that fat Eric Cartman looking character in an attempt to try and bait me into talking to the young lady that claimed that she didn't want to talk to me, but yet she appeared on this gentleman's podcast and tried to bait me into talking to her. Okay? So these phone calls really took place. They can't deny that they took place. They took place. This is the thing with gangstalking. Make sure you keep your evidence. Make sure you have your evidence. Okay? That's because you need that evidence to show that evidence to law enforcement.
Hey James, I have Eliana here. She has something she wants to tell you.
Now, I don't know if she covered up the mic so that nobody could hear what she said, or if she just didn't have a connection, or she removed the connection so that I couldn't hear it. I think she's about done with this shit, honestly. I really do. But they continue to try and use her against me, so by her continually... there's no getting out of this at this point. She has completely involved herself in this by sharing private conversations that she and I had and working with them to try and hurt me. There is no getting out of it at this point. She is part of this. She is part of the gang stalking. She is part of the crimes that have been committed against me. Whether she wants to be or not, she is. She's permanently enmeshed with these people. And that's the problem that she put herself in, not a problem I put her in. She put herself in that problem through her choices.
Go ahead. You leave them whatever message you want. There you go, James. Nobody. No, this planet doesn't want you. And you know what? I'm paying her with Tim Hortons gift cards this time because she's in Canada. That way she can get herself a coffee and a bagel. All right, bye, James.
Notice he knows what Tim Hortons is because he's so fat.
Hey, James. Just heard you say that we have to take this to a legal level. So my lawyer prepared. Hold on, let me grab it. My lawyer prepared a statement for me to read. Hold on, upside down. Sorry, upside down. I lose my head at living at that. Here's what it says. Fuck you. That's it. That's all it says. Sorry, James, I gotta let you go. Eliana's coming on the show. Hey, James, just want to let you know that I'm getting the love of your life on my show here right now.
Now, this is them having to point out that I've referred to that woman as the love of my life when we were friends. And they're trying to use that against me to hurt me, and she's participating in that because it shows what a lowlife she is. The one thing that I do have to thank them for is them actually showing me what an utter piece of human garbage that this woman was and is, because a normal woman would not do this to somebody that cared about them as much as she knows I cared about her.
And I'm not going to be paying her, but I hope you're listening, because I am going to be showing you what she really thinks about you, because she says you're not mad at her, but she's mad at you. Here's the thing, though.
Again, they're trying to bait me into a conversation with somebody that they claim wants me to leave them alone, but yet she wants me to talk to her on this podcast so that they can cash in on the money.
So maybe pick up if you want to talk to her and defend yourself, but if not, that's fine. I get it. Anyway, I love you.
I have nothing to defend myself against. She's the one doing everything. I just wanted her to be happy and be okay. That's it. I thought she was in some kind of trouble.
Hey, James, what's up? Saw you dox my number. I think that's really cool. Somebody came to my house and slashed my tires because of that. So I'm going to be pressing charges.
Show me the police report. I have a police report. You don't.
Want to let you know. Was wondering if I can get the contact information for your lawyer. Just let me know what's the best way to do that. Appreciate it, bud. Anyway, I love you. Hey, James, just wanted to say you made some unfounded accusations, and I would really feel like it would be only fair for me to be able to defend myself with you on the phone. If you don't call me back, I'm going to assume you're a coward.
Now, what's humorous about this, he challenged me to an MMA match, which despite him outweighing me by like 3 times, I still accepted his challenge to an MMA match. He's claiming I backed out of a karate match. I haven't backed out of a karate match. If he wants, like honestly, if he wanted to face me in a karate match, just like Randolph Vance had, you know, he can book the Armory. It's up to him to book it. I'll face him in a full contact karate match. If he wants to face me in a full contact karate match, I'm down. I've been down. I've never backed out of the karate match. It was him and his little sissy meth addict boyfriend that backed out. After, of course, threatening to rape me. No, I didn't back out. This big fat pile of crap backed out after challenging me to a mixed martial arts match, and me, having experienced in grappling and karate, I know I'd be at a disadvantage because of how fat this son of a bitch is, and I still took it because I still know I'd whip him. You know what I mean? I still know I'd whip him because he's that big of a fat sissy boy.
And assume you're a little girl. And since I don't assume gender, I'm going to assume you have a very tiny little pussy in between your legs.
Now notice this is how he has to do things. He has to do things like a nerd. He has to threaten me over the internet because he's a nerd. He's a little sissy boy nerd that has to hide behind the internet because he's not a man. So he has to say insulting things over the internet because he's a coward. He won't face me to my face because he's a coward. Just like the people that knock on my door and run away. Just like the people that knock on my friend's door and run away. Just like the people that are building my case by giving me more witnesses to the harassment.
So, anyway, man, give me a call when you get this. I'm sure you're busy not having a job. All right, love you, bye. Hey, James, what's up? It's Royce. You made some really serious accusations. I'm going through the discovery process here with my lawyer. I was wondering if I could get a phone call with you, and we can maybe talk about this. Give me a call back at any point at this number you see here that I called you on. Unless you're scared, which I understand. I'd be scared of me, too, because you backed out of a karate fight. And my lawyer's telling me not only are you a pussy. Is that correct, sir? He's saying yes. Not only are you a pussy, but you're even afraid to talk to me on the phone because.
Do you like how he makes up like this fake Howard Stern-y type of voice? Like he wants to be Howard Stern, but he's too fat to be Howard Stern.
Verbally beat you down like I would in a karate fight. Again,
a fully sanctioned full contact karate match. That still stands, fatty. That still stands.
Sanctioned one. Hey, sorry about your tire. Send me the bill. I didn't send anybody to slash it. And I'm not going to give you money or anything. I just want to look at how much money you want to laugh at it. All right, bud. Talk to you later. Love you. Anti-fine Jim Bob. I care about you. What?
This is where Fat Man was harassing me via phone. And the police, the police have this as well.
Anti-fine Jim Bob, I care about you. Why you talk to me? This is getting embarrassing. Come on, man. Come on, man. grooming young girls.